you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder matcher on the most amazing Neuroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team Red, also known as Team 1 in the Northeast, ending with Blue Team or Team 2 in the Southwest. Starting off with the southeasternmost player of Team 1, it is Fulgum going first land as a Cybran. He is 1, 2, 3, 4 rated, and he is an orange, the color orange, going first land. To his northwest in Chevy Crimson, we have Electrician going first land as a UEF. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall at 1670 rating, and he is going first land. And in the northwest, the Seraphim player for Team 1, it is SSX Knee going first land. He is in Ruby Red at 1347 rating, going first land, most likely second to air. And again, he is a 1347 rating. So for Team 1 side of things, they have a Cybran, a UEF, and a Seraphim. No Aeon present on Team 1. Down here in the southwest, starting off with the Stitch Blue player of Team 2, it is Map Talk going first air as a Cybran. He is a 1352 rating, and again, he's going first air. Most likely second land as well, but maybe even second air, just given the position on the map. To his southeast, we have another Cybran for Team 2. It is Winter going first land. He is in Royal Blue. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 at 1557 rating. Again, going first land. And last but not least, for Team 2, it is the only different faction appearing on Team 2. He is UEF. It is Balfron going first land. He is an Amethyst Purple. He is a 1307 rating, and he's building a bunch of P-Gens and has already built his Hydro. So for Team 2 side of things, they have one UEF in the form of Balfron and two Cybrans, which means they do not have access to Seraphim Tech like Team 1 does, but they also do not have access to Aeon, which is true for Team 1 as well, which means there are no Aeon players in the entire game. Apologies to those who are loyal to the princess. Let's take a look at Reclaim before our players scoop it all up. Currently on the map, there is only 8,679 mass. There's probably about 9,000 or so. We didn't slow it down, so a couple of engineers could have scooped up some of that mass. So with 6 players, 8,000 mass, about 1.2k mass per person. Let's see, 1.4k. It's 1.4k now, not 1.2. I can try to do math in my head sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But 1,200 mass per person isn't terrible, but it also isn't the best thing. This map is decently big for a 6-player game, a 3v3 game. And there are a couple of mass points here in the northwest. One player will definitely own these. It will not definitely be fought over. There's an upper plateau section with a couple of mass points. These 2 players, one of them already has a distance build going on, and one player going for a transport. Wouldn't be surprised to have him go for that position or even the further position, but at least that at a minimum. There are Trimex positions dotted in the southeastern section of the map, some in the middle, and some in the northwest middle as well. There is a lot, and when I say a lot, I really mean it, a lot of little hills, taller mountains. So definitely going to be very difficult to get large formation movements. And if players do not want to deal with the mountains, there's only so many avenues of attack, which means any run-bys are definitely going to be very disconjointed trying to get to the other side of the map. So we expect to see some sort of run-by through the mountains, at least at some point in the southeastern corner, but I don't expect it to be super great. There could be a situation where one player can't really come after those units because they're just, they're bobbing and weaving and can't really get a line of sight. Maybe there'll be a comm v comm action here soon, and comms can't shoot at one another because of the mountains. We have seen that before in other games, but I don't really know, just due to the fact that it's so tight in that environment that it's just very difficult to really get a nice line of sight target. We are seeing the comms on Team 1 and 2 pushing towards the middle. Team 1's Electrician moving more northwestwardly, while Team 2's Winter moving more eastwardly, going for this set of mexes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Team 1 grab this northwestern side and Team 2 grab this southeastern side. And it is looking like a 2v1 scenario. Team 1 isn't pushing on this eastern side, at least Fulgrim isn't, which means that Team 2 might have a slight advantage in grabbing this other Trimech's position. We do see engineers already on a transport with some air scouts, and I think that was an interceptor nearby. I'm going to have to come back into screen. I think it was an air scout. Maybe it was an interceptor. Maybe it was both. It was an air scout. But we do see that Team 2 is so far in control of that southeastern section of the map, which does have a couple of extra mechs on the edges, which is huge for Battlefront's eco here in this game. We do see Team 2's air player of Map Talk went for that further expansion rather than the one next to his base, which does have the advantage of reducing the travel time and locking out his opponent of SSX knee out of that position, but he's already bombing that with T1 bombers. Interceptors are on station trying to deal with those, and we have T1 units being spammed up to halt any sort of retaliation on the ground side of things. Action is already kicking off, and we see a large amount of units being diverted to the north here, outbound from Winter to counteract, of course, the comm of Electrician pushing forward. The comm of... most comms are about 20 tanks in terms of value. We do see a second comm of SSX, and with two comms on the front line charging the middle, we might even see the retreat of Winter to counteract this at a minimum, because if these two comms push, they could claim this entire northwestern section of the middle, and it's just full send it south, essentially locking off. I mean, this plateau section's already locked off from everything else, but will essentially lock off the entire northwestern section if they're not careful. T1, I would say T1, T2 artillery can easily just bomb this position here from Map Talk, so Team 2 really needs to be careful and not allow Team 1 to get a foothold in that section of the map. Team 1's Fulgrim has actually pushed against Battlefront in... Battlefront. Okay, for some reason I thought I was spelled differently. Battlefront in the south. He's going for a gun upgrade that will definitely assist with his ability to shove Team 2 off of this position. But again, he's kind of lacking this side of the map, which means Winter does have the advantage, and he'll just charge forward anyways. Doesn't fear anything else. There's a couple of T1 tanks and a artillery, A-N, not A. And there isn't anything that Team 1 can use to stop him. But Team 1 does have two comms, and once the comms, of course, keep pushing southward, which they can right now, there's two comms. One can easily push while the other one builds some AA or PD to protect, and all those units, that's not great here for Team 2 on this middle lane, but whatever you want to call it. But Team 2 has a nice victory here on this upper plateau, going after this position. And again, like I said earlier, in terms of this, Team 1 artillery is actually raining down onto Team 1's air player of SSX. That is not great here for him. He has bomber issues to deal with. He has Team 1 artillery to deal with. He does have a nice fire base here in the west with a couple of factories pumping out tanks. Two tanks are not going to be enough to take out a PD, so definitely needs to rethink that strategy. Probably should go for other options, maybe do counter artillery. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of... I do like, just him essentially taking a page out of his opponent, but it's just not really going to go anywhere unless you can get a massive amount of T1 units, or T1 artillery versus T1 tanks. Transport's being shot down by both teams. There is a transport outbound here from Team 2's Map Talk. He's going to be able to land another set of troops. This is super dangerous here for Team 1's air player. Facilities are going down. Mexes are going down. We're only in 8.5 minutes in this game, and it's really, really hurting Team 1's airplane. We even see a couple of units get into this position here against the Electrician. Electrician actually retreating, moving to his main base, building a couple of air facilities, probably as a secondary air player, considering he is noticing the just not great position that his air player is really in. And it's not good here for Team 1 on this northern edge of the map. Team 2, how you doing, South East? Well, you're holding pretty good. The comm of Fulgrim is still online. Battlefront does have Gun and Nano on board, that commander, and has some T1 and a couple of T2 support, so Fulgrim will definitely not be able to last that long on that front line. And it does look like Winter didn't really get anywhere against that attack here against Fulgrim's other position. So it looks like it's kind of a stalemate, but we do see more action in the south. And while this is happening against Team 1, Team 1 is pushing against Team 2. And if Team 1 can cut off these supply lines for Winter. He's going to be isolated on his own, and I could see a potential pincer maneuver happen here pretty soon. Movement does start to happen here for Fulgrim. He might start to push and go after this position. Essentially, it's going to be a trade. Winter will be forced to retreat. Team 1 will take out some infrastructure, force the comm to a different position, and gain that side or that mech's expansion. We do see those units still coming in here for Team 2's air player, just wrecking havoc. All of the mechs except one are down, and they're going to die pretty soon. Those look like a couple more. Badisha get a couple more shots off, and that might be it for that mechs. There it is. All the mechs in Team 1's air grid have Team 1's air player of SXX have been destroyed. He does have other mechs over here, but this position is completely knocked out. This is really the only danger to Team 1's air player for the time being. We do have gunships, T2 Renegades, and Team 2's air player is not letting up. He's getting some distance build going on. Actually, he cancels those. He's getting some T2 transports as well. He already had T1, right? He already had T1 for transports. I was getting T2. Those Renegades are just going to keep just hammering away at Team 1. That is the downside with a map this big and comms are pretty spread out. Your one base can't cover for the other one. Essentially, you're on your own if something happens. Those gunships do get taken out pretty quickly against Team 1 interceptors, so it's, I don't think it was the best situation to send them in. We do see those reinforcements outbound from Electrician to assist, while SSX gets his operations back underway. T3 at land on the line and producing Titans as we speak here for Electrician, going for T2 upgrade as well. Huge for Team 1. That could severely reduce their effectiveness, Team 2's effectiveness in the land game. And Balfron continuing to push against Fulgrim in the east. All those units here from the west side of things will have to be pulled from their duties and move eastward. We see the units actually going to cover for the departure of Fulgrim's units in the east, and it looks like they're just going to send it. There's T2 units here, Rhinos and Hoplites here for that Cyber player of Winter. Those Team 1 units are going to be chopped up to bits very, very quickly. And both the comms are just having at it, focusing on everything else but themselves. We do see a couple of T2 pillars in there. They're focusing down the comm. And Mantis starting to just run over Balfron. He's getting outnumbered pretty quickly. And it looks like he's just going to start focusing down the comm. If he can get him down to 2,500 hit points and get him in range, even if Balfron dies, he'll get a murder-suicide. It's a one-for-one kind of thing. We do see more and more shields coming online and trying to come in and support that commander. Fulgrim is just constantly retreating. He's not going to stay on the front lines. He's going to retreat and try to get out of dodge. T2 Rhinos now just pummeling into Balfron. Of course, he has 2 veterancy, nano, and guns, so he'll be fine for a while, but, you know, long-term, not great. He's very far forward in Team 1's territory, and now Titans are appearing here. That is not good for Balfron South. This might be the first kill in this game at 13 minutes. That is not going to feel good. Pillars being wiped out. Fulgrim is pushing as well with that support of those Titans. Of course, I prefer Percy's in this mix, but of course, anything is better than nothing. One Titan gets blitzed down by that comm. The second one gets a lot of its hit points and shield wiped out by that overcharge. Balfron is being forced back, but he's not taking as many hits as I thought he was. He's at 3 veterancy now. The transport can't carry him. Needs T2 from what I remember. And Balfron is still sticking to it. He's in the yellow, but again, he's in the high yellows. He's at 11,000 hit points and climbing very quickly. Fulgrim is at 4,600 and only at 20. Is that 26? 24 hit points a second. Forces tangle here in the middle, but Team 2 definitely has the advantage with tech and numbers. Electrician trying to combat that with T3 Titans, and he is pumping those out. Wow, he has a lot of Titans on station. Dang. T2 Corsairs running around, going after Mexes, not Mexes, PD for some reason. Does look like Team 1 has kind of reestablished themselves. This position still being annoying, and the comm of map talk has just been, okay, this is annoying. I'm going to deal with this myself. That's what that T2 transport was for. Just trying to force back Team 1's SSX in this western corner, essentially what he did to SSX in the east. And these bombers are not stopping, still going after T1 Mexes. SSX just kind of hanging in there. He's trying to just recover the best he can. This is his new base now, or his new main base. and trying to just stay alive. Not a lot of units in the middle for either team, but a bunch of Team 1 Lobos are on station, and they're going over here. I don't know where those are really going to go. We have the attack inbound here from Winter in the middle of the map. Still no one has died. How's the East attack going? Battlefront's back up to essentially full HP. He will be in a couple of seconds. Fulgrim is at 6,600. He needs to get Nano online very quickly. Excuse me, and apologies if you heard me sneeze. I had that like I need the sneeze thing, and it was like messing up with my ability to talk. So finally that sneeze happens. I have those like loud sneezes, and yeah, they're loud. They don't hurt. They just, I know some people when they sneeze really loudly it hurts. For me it's loud. Winter is being attacked by Titans, but is forcing back those Titans with his comm and one brick. There's another brick coming in to assist, and Team 1 needs some Percies. The Titans are good for rapid deployments and against Team 1 units, but against comms, the Percies are definitely more valuable. This situation definitely exemplifies why the Titan is the way that it is and how effective it can be, just ripping through T1 and T2 units. Of course, the Titans were focused on the brick. Once the brick is down, now everything else can be killed off. Engineer just dying here, not the best position to be in there for that little civilian. And now we have a brick fighting a Titan. Of course, I'll take that brick in a fight every single day because that brick just has more hit points, better damage per shot, all of that. Team 2 has now fully secured the southeastern corner for, well, Team 2, Battlefront has secured it for his team, and he is not letting go. More units are being just funneled to that front line. He does have a lot of pillars, does have some issues with some power. Looks like he's trying to build some maybe pigeons back home. Yeah, negative 1,300. He has to build a couple T3 pigeons. Yep, there is another one trying to just get back online. Maybe we'll see him go for missile. Maybe that'd be kind of interesting to see. He could hit a lot of things with that nuclear missile, or just regular missile for that matter. But I always love to see the Billy Nuke, of course. Still, Team 2 is at it here with that T1 Medusa spam, trying to, you know, just take out anything and everything in this base. There's one air facility. But I think SSX is like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. His comm is too short to ride the ride. He's going to spam up some T1 PD. The AA guns from the Sky Slammers can shoot at those ground targets. Don't have a lot of good accuracy. And the Medusa, well, can't really do a whole lot. There's a Zui trying to shoot up above that plateau. Is doing not a bad job of it. But the PD are now online. Of course, they were EMP'd for a little bit. One of them does get killed off. And it does look like at least the eastern edge of that plateau will still be secured by Team 1. Again, Team 2 really just having a lot of success on this eastern side. And still on this northwestern side, they own both corners of the map. Team 1 is being severely hemmed in, which usually results in Team 1 focusing more on upgrades. And Team 1 is trying to keep in par with their opponents in terms of mass per second. 340 versus 360. So about 20 more mass, Team 2 for Team 1, which is pretty good considering that Team 2 has a considerable amount more map control. And there's still more mexes that can easily be claimed by Team 2. They just haven't gone after them yet. Team 1 can easily just sneak a couple of engineers and go for T1 mexes. But a group of T3 bricks with supporting units, an AA gun in there as well for that bouncer. Huge force to be reckoned with. Titans not going to stand up to that brick wall. Unfortunately, Team 1 needs Percies at a minimum, or Othams. Well, Harbingers would be nice, but I feel like Percies or Othams would definitely be the choice in that regard. Shield has been completed. That will definitely protect the comm. He doesn't have power, does he? Oh, there it goes. I was like, wait, what's the... Maybe he was losing power because of the upgrade, but now he's perfectly fine. 19,000 hit points on top of the 17.5. He loses it again. Still having power issues. 36,000 hit points to chew through. T1 units being dropped off. The comm as well being dropped off. And this is huge because this will allow SSX to push himself. And that T1 PD against a T2 and gun comm of the Seraphim variety. He's going to build Uthashalas, completely outrange the T1 PD, and call it a day. There's a lot of T1 artillery here for the air player of Map Talk. But once that artillery is finished, once that PD is finished off, Those are going to be dead in the water. More units being thrown onto the front lines to assist in defensive measures while that PD is online. You can see the artillery raining in, going after the Utashala and the comm. Comm takes some of those shots, but mainly it's focused on the PD. And now the laser opens up. The gun on that comm opens up. Oh, it's just ripping through those T1 artillery. And the PD does go down, but the damage is done. Most of those Medusa are killed off, and that is it. Now we have Bricks went north, took out this fire base. A couple of, not really fire base, more mexes. Titans versus Bricks. Again, like I said before, I'll take the Bricks any day of the week, unless it's a considerable amount more Titans than Bricks. But Percy's online with an assisting Spearhead. That's a lot of missile capabilities on that thing, and you can see the Percy's just ripping. Oh, that is the downside with the Percy's, is that their shots can easily be missed, and when they do miss, it takes a while for them to reload. It's essentially a sniper rifle style, or a single shot rifle essentially in that regard. Lots of engineers here for Electrician trying to get reclaim, and Team 2 still pushing Team 1 back here. We do see some Bricks in tow as well. Lots of Medusa, lots of missile launchers, T2 pillars. Valfron's Khan himself at 4-star veterancy is most likely going to get 5-star out of this engagement. And the Calm of Fulgrim still only at 1-star. We'll probably get 2-star, at least at a minimum, after this fight. And his focus definitely is the Calm, but Valfron can easily just blitz him down. Brick's going to be a huge amount of support here, taking out a lot of units. They shoot very quickly, have a lot of hit points. Really hard to deal with for those pillars. Just so many hit points to chew from each individual brick. Valfron is starting to be outnumbered for tech here. He has a couple of pillars coming in to assist, but maybe he bit off too much than he can chew. We do see a Loyalist in the mix as well. That's not going to EMP the Calm, but it's some damage, better than nothing. The Calm is going to still keep engaging. Calm at 1-star. Team 2's Valfron's at 5 stars. Those bricks are actually coming out of range. They need to actually walk back. Calm doesn't move that fast. We do see more bricks coming in to assist, and Valfron is in the red. This might be the first kill of the game. He's dropping very, very quickly, and there he is. He did bite off more than he can chew. Team 1 has 3 players left. Team 2 has 2 players left here at 21 minutes in this game. But we have an attack against Electrician's base as well. He's been retreating for a while. Team 2's Winter starts to pull back his forces due to the fact that Team 2 has lost a player. Winter will gain control of the entire southeastern corner, and look at the map control that he has now. Third of the map at a minimum, just under his direct control. We have a calm on calm scenario here going on this upper plateau. 22 minutes in, Team 1 at 380 mass per second. Team 2 at 460, about 80 mass more than their opponents. Team 1 has 3 players left. Team 2 has 2 players left. And there are transports on their way. Going to try to drop in some of those bricks. And do they get to land? They land 2 of the 4. That's better than nothing. And those ASFs were not there in time. There's not a lot of support on the ground to deal with this. E3 pigeons are being built. Utashala is built over here. This base is going to fall. This base has just suffered a ton. See, look at all the transports just constantly littering the ground over here. Anyway, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the comment section. Not just about, of course, who's going to win, but anything and everything in general. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And again, just thank you so much for watching. SSX here in the West, trying to hold back those missiles. Doing a pretty decent job with just himself. Does need more support. We do see a lot of engineers going to start getting some of those mexes online, and then a PD, and then just going to retreat immediately. I don't think SSX is going to allow that. Food for thought, though. You shouldn't sit your ASFs next to Team 1 artillery. Probably not the best idea. There's also some flak nearby. Not recommend that. Team 1 PD and Team... Well, is it Team 1 PD? No, it's just T2. Team 1 AA is being spammed up. Those bricks are getting a lot of value. Killed a lot of mass on this western side. And we can see 2,500 and 2,000. So 4,500 mass kill just by them alone is going to get out of range of those Utashalas. Team 1 is being locked out of the air at the current moment. T3 Whalers in the back taking out T2 Mexes. And Team 1 is just getting hit hard. They got a kill on one of their opponents, but that's not a lot. In the east, bricks versus bricks. And there goes another brick kill here for Winter. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Percy's, and yep, there they are. They're marching on that front line. Sorry, to the front line, not on the front line. And we see those bricks taking out more T2 Mechs here for the air player of SSX. SSX only at 5 mass a second. Essentially has no mass to his name. I think that might have been power related as well, but we have some broadswords online. They'll deal with those bricks slowly but surely, but they'll deal with them nonetheless. And it's just Team 1 is just hurting in the mass department, specifically their air player. Team 2 has a huge advantage with that. They have T3 air. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go strap bomber. He's going to build a bunch of spy planes, which I don't think you need more than like 2 or 3 at least at this stage. Going to build 6 of them, and then a whaler, and then more spy planes. I feel like there's a missed opportunity with some of those renegade T3 strap bombers. Definitely a missed opportunity in that regard. There's a lot of mechs. There's a lot of T2 mechs, especially back here, that could easily, like this one could be, you know, bombed. Those two, you know, it's 2 bombs for 4 mechs. You get another 3rd one in there maybe. There is a couple of T3 AA in the area. There's another T2 mechs, another T2 mechs. I mean, there is definitely stuff that Team 2 can do. Team 1 building a monkey. There's a lot of mass on his front doorstep to be able to scoop that up and pay for that monkey. Whaler's going straight after the comm of Team 1's SSX, and he has just been hurting the entire game, and he'll be killed off by Team 2's air player. Now it's a 2v2. Team 1's electrician will inherit everything that SSX owned, and he'll probably keep it in his hands. We have some Corsairs also being shot at, but that upper plateau section is now gone for Team 1. And now Team 1 has to fight a war on this front as well. They've been fighting it for a while, but now it's going to be down here. And it's not going to feel good. Corsair inbound. Don't know where he was going with that. Lands pretty close to a couple of engineers. Not whalers. Broadswords can easily be diverted to this location and deal with those units very, very quickly. But Team 2 definitely leading the game in mass, in map control, in, I wouldn't say kills because they're tied 1-1. But everything else, essentially, Team 2 is the favorite to win at the current moment. And, of course, we've seen... Oh, what is this? Oh, map talk. Well, hold on. Usually when we see that, something happened. Nuke. Yeah, I just noticed it. They built one. Any idea how long it's been up? Guess I'll just have to build an SMD and hope for the best. Team 2 loses map talk. Their control K, maybe internet problems. I don't know, but that's definitely definitely not great here for Team 2. And now Winter will gain control over everything that Team 2 owns, putting him at 500, almost 600 mass a second, producing more than the entire Team 1 team combined. He has that Stonehanger with a couple of T3 Pigeon assisting and some more engineers as well. That's going up, not super quick, but it's going up decently fast to the point where Team 1, like I mentioned in chat, doesn't have an SMD online, so they're, you know, really have to speed that process up. I do think, unfortunately though, for Team 2, that this SMD will finish loading before that nuke is launched. And that SMD has enough coverage to cover most of Fulgrim's base. So if Winter isn't careful, even if he goes after Fulgrim, it won't really matter. We have a T3 UEF facility and a Seraphim facility here for Electrician. He still has access to Seraphim tech. Kind of surprised he's not going for chicken. He's going for, I know he's going for SMD first. He's also going for T3 engineering suite as well. And a lot of the momentum in the south has really petered out, especially due to the fact that now Winter not only has to control the south, the middle, and now the north, and and air, and all the other things. And against 2 players, it can be taxing. He is a 1500. He is technically rated as a pro, so he can deal with it. It's just, it is going to be taxing. Subcom Brain is going to be setting in sooner because of that. And now we have a nice Rambo comm on the front line. Just sitting there, just going for a T3 AA site. Those whalers trying to chew through those shields and hit points, but it's not really doing anything. We do see a couple of T3 mobile as well here for Fulgrim. Those whalers will be forced back. Probably would have been better to build some of those broadswords. But now the nice horde of bricks and Percy's with some Titans in the mix. No Loyalists, unfortunately. No, Team 1 has Loyalists. Team 2 does not. It's only Titans, bricks. And there's even a pillar in the mix, is why not? These units will be forced back. There is, of course, a Rambo comm. Team 2 needs to be aware of that. It's a lot of hit points and a lot of attack power. Percy's as well. Shield coming online. What? Was that unit moving while he was building? That was weird. Anyway. Team 2 does not have Omni online in the middle, which means that stealth field is going to be a nice little boost to protect. See, they can't see anything because of that. As long as Team 1's units stay in range of that stealth field, they can't see anything. Building some Ravagers as well to obviously just push back that front line. I would like to see Triads. I know Ravagers, of course, have better range and whatnot. But units can dodge the Ravager shots a lot better, and you could just have Team 1 spam, just annoying them all the time. Not the best PD in that regard. They're good against, of course, mass T3 Ravagers versus Experimentals. Experimentals are big, they're slow, and they can't really dodge for the most part. So it's good for that, but for smaller targets, it's not the best. 30 minutes on the dot here for the game. How's the nuke looking? It's almost loaded. And do we already have an attack order for it? No, we don't. T3, Winter's going for T3. Standing next to a pigeon. Not the best idea. Just want to point that out. Not the best idea. There is a crab online in the rear for him. Already almost half done with that. SMD is loaded. There is now an SMD loading for Fulgrim as backup. He's building a monkey. That's about to finish. So even if the nuke launches now, that monkey will finish and be able to get out of dodge. Spy planes over top trying to tell. The Team 1's built some SMD. Yes, they have. And they built their own nuke as well. So it's just going to be nuke versus nuke. I feel like it's going to be World War III up here at some point with just all the nukes going on. We haven't really seen a lot of action due to the departure of Max Talk. I do not count that as a kill or a death. I call it a departure or evacuation or retreat, whatever the case may be. It's not an actual kill. There are control Ks that I do count as kills or deaths, but that one, for no reason, he was perfectly fine sitting in his base. Maybe his PC had an update and just wanted to restart. Nuke will launch, go after that main base for Electrician, but it is not going to matter. It's going to build a Fat Boy, then a Satellite, and then go, I guess, upgrade to T3 after he does those. With those upgrade. That is a lot of power. That is a lot of build power. 48 engineers. Just make it 50 and be done with it at this point. There comes that nuke, and it is immediately shot down. Team 1 almost has another one in the clip and almost has another one. So 2 SMDs online. Monkey on that front line now versus another monkey. Rambo Comm trying to do what he can. It is a monkey v monkey fight. Bricks and monkey fighting one another. The monkey for Team 1 will fight off the monkey from Team 2. That is a lot of Percy's inbound from the south. And that is not going to go well here pretty soon as those Percy's come into range and start targeting the monkey, of course, itself. He's in the yellow. So he's fine for now, but that's a lot of units, and they will, if they do stay here, claim that territory. A lot of mass to scoop up. A lot of it did come from Team 2, to be fair, so in their eyes, it is rightfully theirs. In their eyes. Another monkey built for Fulgrim. And more T3 facilities being pumped online. I had a spam, my phone was ringing out a spam call for some reason. I felt my desk vibrating and was like, what the heck is that? And then realized it was my phone. You see Team 1 does start to regain control. Going to start establishing some more positions. More T3 AA as well to protect against any sort of nonsense gunship attack. And that is a lot of ASFs for Team 2. Team 1 has some, but not as many as Team 2 does. That is definitely air control for Team 2. There is a squadron, or at least a wing of gunships in the south. Would like to see some broadswords mixed in just for some better damage on ground targets. But whalers, again, whalers are a good kind of happy medium between restorers and broadswords. In a world where you have broadswords and you're going after ground targets alone, might as well just go for broadswords at that point. How's the mass situation doing? Team 2 at 1K. Sorry, Winter's at 2K at 1K. Team 1 is at 800. So is he planning any sort of artillery? He does have, of course, the nuke. Does have a nice base. He's going to start protecting himself over here with T1 and T2 PD. He's building that crab still. Taking not as fast as I thought he was building. It does have an SMD to protect that crab. And he's building a Soul Ripper. Very, very interesting. Does Team 1 know about it? No, that's going to be very annoying to deal with. That experimental gunship is devastating, especially in large. Obviously, anything in large numbers is devastating, but those gunships hurt. They hurt. There are, of course, a couple of T3 AA sites online. They should start to be dotted all around the map here. And those ASFs is about enough to take out that gunship outright. There are lots of Corsairs as well. Spy planes now will notice him. So that definitely helps Team 1 be like, hey, there's a thing over there. You should probably pay attention to it. Attack again. But instead, it is 2 monkeys versus a crab. The monkey's trying to move into range to take out the crab, but the first monkey dies off en route. The second monkey being heavily targeted by all those units on Team 2. And now it's just going to be the crab supremacy. Look at how much taller a crab is versus like a brick. You see Ravager Fire raining in. I like how there's an arc to it. You can see it's kind of arcing. Oh, there we go. Arcing up to the top of that crab. You can see it. It's still hitting it, but might as well just stop doing that. I'm just trying to zoom in, and it zooms in way over there. Bricks trying to hold off. More T2 Utashalas being built in the rear, but that is not going to stop the crab. That is a lot of mass to scoop up here by both teams. Team 2, I think, will gain control of that. Sorry, Winter will gain control of that. 67, 65, 64 or so 1,000 mass here. Of course, there's 3 monkeys here, plus all of the Team 3 units. And that crab is decently wounded, though. The Rambocom does end up dying, but there's one of his friends nearby. That thing has been through a lot. 11,000 mass killed by itself. It will, let's see, will it cascade onto that brick? Brick dies anyways. A lot of that T3 assist has been killed off, and now it's just the brick alone. There are Percy's and bricks in the mix. And there's only the crab alone, excuse me, not the, I don't know what I was saying there. There's only 2 bricks left online. That crab is going to try to make it to friendly territory, so it's easier to scoop up mass. Engineers already on station to assist. More bricks trying to hold up, and there goes that crab. Team 2 loses that crab in a bigger mass field. Here there is a Fat Boy coming online. We'll definitely secure. And now another nuke is launching. Here comes that bug to assist, and that's actually from Team 1. Where is this one going? Where is it going? That bug is going to try to secure that territory. Oh, it's going over here to the air grid. SMD is going to... Oh, it's going to come online. That nuke had to have been like a couple seconds sooner. And... Oh, it finishes, and that was very close. Oh, that was almost beyond the point of no return. Oh, that was very, very close. Ooh. Both Team 1 and Team 2 were probably on the edge of their seat because of that, obviously for different reasons. But does Team 1 have another nuke loaded? No, they don't. Does Team 2 have a nuke loaded? Let's see. Yes, they do. Getting a lot of engineering support for that. I would not be surprised to see someone go for artillery. I mean, you would think, right? Oh, yep, there it is. It's staring at me in the face. There's the nuke. It's launching. It's going after this spot, but there is an SMD loaded as well, so that's not going to matter. Fat Boy versus Crab. Long range, Fat Boy wins. Short range, of course, Crab wins. But the Crab is only there to secure the position while the engineers reclaim. This is not determine who wins or loses, but definitely will contribute to who does. And that nuke's going to sail over and be killed off by the anti-nuke loaded in that Guardian. There it goes, and kaboom. Nuke is coming, not Nuke, Duke is coming online here for Team 1. Does Team 2 know about it? No. They know about the nuke. That's it. Well, they'll know about stuff pretty soon. Spy plane will not see exactly what's going on, but we'll have seen something for a brief second. The Crab is being pushed back. Engineers are being killed off as well. There is a Soul Ripper online. A lot of ASF support to protect it. Chicken coming in to assist as well. ASFs coming and take out those ASFs for Team 2. There's not a lot of ASFs as well, which means there leaves the Soul Ripper very, very open to go after that FAF point and Chicken. But it is not looking good for Team 2's air support. That's actually not as... Wow, Team 1 actually won that fight. I'm not surprised in that regard. I felt like Team 2 had that, but there goes all that assistance against that Soul Ripper, and it'll drop behind Team 1's friendly territory. That is a lot of mass. That's 15,000 mass to scoop up. A definite misstep here by Winter. And if Team 1 gains control of this mass reclaim field, that is not going to look good. Another crab being built, almost finished. Monkey being built. Of course, the Duke being built. How's the northwest situation going? Nothing's happening over here. I hear that chicken still firing off. The chicken versus the crab. Chicken's going to take a lot of hit points, going after a lot of engineers. T2 land spam occurring here. It's not stopping. Chicken should just divert his attention to the crab. Could kill off the crab, but it's going to keep going down south. Go after all the facilities. I don't think that was really worth it. Does take out most of them. There's one more left online. He could have killed that crab. Honestly, I think that chicken could have killed that crab off had he just focused on it. And there goes the Iron Storm. Kills off all the other engineers. But Team 1 was more focused on the mass field. And how much more mass is there now? We've been talking about it for a while. Well, included in that wreck, or that mass, is the wreck of that Soul Ripper, which means almost 100,000 mass just in that area of the map. 135, which means more than 2/3 at a minimum, if not 75% of the mass located just right here. This spot is fought over here for both teams. Team 2, do they have something else up their sleeve? Massive amounts of Team 3? T3 land factories. That was Team 1 for a second. Just loading the nuke as well. Another one has been loaded. Satellite overhead, trying to take out what it can. Trying to target the SMDs. I feel like targeting the mass definitely would be more use. Another SMD, of course, in the west. That one is loaded. Artillery now raining in from that Duke. The first Duke has been completed. It is very volatile here. A couple of strat bombs will take everything out. Of course, these energy storages are volatile. The pigeons are volatile. The nuke is volatile. Everything is volatile. I do like how it says manual launch. I do think it very interesting that it just says it has to be manually launched. Nuke is, speaking of nukes, it is launched. It's going for the mass. Will kill off the Fat Boy if it doesn't move. That is gonna hurt. A lot of dead stuff. 2 crabs are coming in to try to claim that field, and he nuked it just a little bit north. Did not singe everything, but singed some things. The crab will be perfectly fine. All those bricks are going to die. There it goes. Oh. Kaboom. And we have some... Is that a Rascom or is that a... That is a Rascom. That is a lot of mass gone. Still mass being scooped up as we speak. Team 1 was able to reclaim that bug, though. But 1 crab, 1 monkey, 1 crab, essentially perfectly fine. Versus 2 crabs. Definitely will side with the crabs on that regard. Team 1, of course, does have a nuke, a satellite, and a Duke. Building a second Duke as we speak. Team 2 needs to fight back in that regard. And Rascoms on the front lines. Not the best idea. Should have gone for Rambo presets, whatever the case may be. 1 is dead. The other one is dead. The crab is in full retreat. Chicken coming in. And essentially at this point, just send the chicken in and have it. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. Send the chicken in. Call it good. It's going to die off. Unless the crabs focus on other things they're going to actually target the chicken. Oh, no. Gotta move the chicken. Gotta move the chicken. Oh, it's definitely a disappointment. So much death. So much death. And that chicken is dead. The crab is not dead. The second crab that was almost killed off earlier on, that one's almost dead. The Ion Storm going to go off right next to Team 1's unit. Oh, it's not going to feel good. Monkey goes down as well. There's just so much death and destruction here. It's not stopping anytime soon. Of course, there's that crab to the east as well. But nowhere else on the map is there really. This is really only where the action is focused. All right here. Because why not? We have artillery raining in. Team 2 is building their own artillery. Ooh, gotta build more shields. That's what he's doing. One shield is not enough. One more artillery in, and that's not going to feel good for that Duke. Oh, hits right to the east of it. Shield comes back online. Comes online, and then another shield comes online just at the last second. But more shields are actually being built, and I love this. What's going on? He's shielding the walkway between the two, essentially, shield bases. So once this is built, you can see how much of the walkway is shielded to protect all the engineering support. I love that. It's very, you would think, why is he building a shield in the middle of nowhere? Well, if he needed to walk from one place to another, he'll be shielded on the way, or anything else will be shielded on the way. So I love that. Shields being spammed up as quickly as they can be to assist. Shields are falling. There are a couple of P-gens that it's definitely going to hurt if they go off. But there is, of course, another Duke under construction here. Another nuke launching, this time out from Team 1 Stone Anger. Where is this one going? Going for the west once again. And the SMD has been killed off. Reclaim efforts have been initialized. But that air grid that has been online for a long, long time will now be killed off. I wonder how different the game would be if Map Talk was still alive. I feel like Team 1 would be pushing a lot more on this northern side. But with his departure, it's essentially given the driver's seat over back to Team 1. And there goes that nuke. I'm going to watch it in all of its glory. Kaboom! Takes out a lot of P-gens. One T2 air facility still online. But everything else. Oh, there's a T3 mech still alive. And there's still another fight going on down here. This mass field will not go away. Chicken dead. Monkey dead. Crab dead. Fat boy also dead. More fat boys. Crabs are just going to keep sending it against the fat boys, I guess. Definitely not the best situation to be in that regard. Percy's trying to take out anything and everything for support, but charging headfirst with no support with two crabs. Or not two crabs, two monkeys. Dang it, not two monkeys. Two fat boys. There we go. Definitely not the best situation to be in. Team 1 establishing engineering, just scooping up measure, and again, just nuking the mesh. I can't have it. No one can, essentially. That is going to be so annoying here for Team 1. Like, we got some mass. No, just going to nuke it again. I mean, that's one way to prevent your enemy from getting it, is just nuke it. Let's see, I'm going to slow it down a little bit so we can see that nuke come in. If I can't have it, no one can. Kaboom! Kills off more and more of that mass. Doesn't kill everything off. It kills off enough on the northern side to where engineers and other units can come in and try to secure the rest of it. But it does singe some of the mass. That that crab is still online and still kicking, and still hasn't been killed off. Is at actually at 2-star veterancy. Now Team 2 has their own Duke. And I wonder where it's going. Well, based on the trajectory, based on how far it's going for the enemy artillery at the minimum. But Team 1 has almost finished their second Duke as well. I would like to see some assistance coming out from Fulgrim for that. But still, at least it's better than, he's going for other things. Shield comes offline. Of course, it's known as the Disruptor for a reason. Actually, it's a Duke. Never mind. I was thinking I knew he built the Duke. I don't know why he said Disruptor. I'm thinking Cybran. He is a Cybran player. That's probably what I thought. Laser just trying to do what it can against the satellite. Actually going after the P-gens. Definitely the best move. SMDs being loaded as quickly as they can be. And Nuke at almost 40,000 mass killed. That's pretty good. Not great, but it's not bad. In one artillery versus one artillery, not really going to go anywhere with that. Shield's going to pop off. Shield's going to pop back online. The issue is that Team 1 has 3 P-gens surrounding their Duke. Team 2 only has 1, so the fire rate is increased for Team 1 and not for... well, it's increased a little bit for Team 2, but it's further increased by Team 1. So more shots going to come out of that artillery versus the other one. And the shields are falling, to be fair, around both teams' base. You can see they hit the impact, take out most of that capacity. More shields are going to be built. We are... surprisingly, how small the map is, it's at -2 speed. It's running pretty slowly, unfortunately. And now 2 crabs on that front line facing a horde. An absolute horde of Percys, and then there are bricks coming in after them. There are no... well, there's one experimental online. Probably should have waited for those. Engineers trying to scoop up all of that reclaim, trying to do what they can. for the environment and scoop up all the remnants of old battles, but essentially all of the action on the land is in the tiny, tiny little square. That's it. Essentially all the nukes have landed here. Battlefront has actually died over here, so pretty close. Who would have thought this position of the map would be where Team 1 and Team 2 would duke it out the most? Of course, Team 1 and 2 did duke it out up here. The comm of SSX did die up there. SSSX. Oh, I've been saying SSX, haven't I? Oh, that's awkward. Anyway, 47 minutes in realizing you forgot a letter. But those Percies are not stopping, and that crab has to retreat. The column of Percies will not be stopped. You will not stop. We will not stop. Send everyone. You will not stop us. You will not stop us. I have that song stuck in me. Don't stop me. Don't stop me. No. I have that song stuck in my head now. But if all these Percies die and all these crabs die and Team 2 does not gain control of that territory, we know what's going to happen. He's just going to nuke it. He's going to be done with it. Just nuke it and be done with it. Does he have a nuke? He does not. So now the laser focusing on the shields for the Duke, which might indicate that Team 1 had... Nope, Team 1 still hasn't finished that Duke. Heavy assist onto that shield. I mean, couple of singed P-gens, but nothing really too much to be concerned. Now we see the Seraphim shields come into play. There we go. I was wondering when they're going to be utilized. 3 FAF boys online. They're going to secure that reclaim field. You've got to get your engineers in there now, and here they come. All those Percies are dead. There's still so much mass. I think I'll just keep this open for now. I'll have to keep it. 120,000 mass being drained by the second here. That's so much mass. That's half of every game ender in the game, essentially. More FAF boys are being built in different locations. Actually, this one isn't even built. This one is. No, this one's even stopped being built. Neither of them being built. We'll just reclaim them for mass. Second Duke is online and turning its main cannon to, actually its only cannon, to fire at a target, which is probably the lone Duke here in the south. Team 2, are you building literally anything else? Shields, to be fair, are falling around that P-gens, and then the shield pops back online anyways. Definitely a missed opportunity for that laser. We do see a couple of units getting into the front line here from Team 1, but I think I'll actually get rid of that. Thought I'd use it as much. A lot of those T3 mexes, or T2 at least at the minimum, were assassinated by that laser. Laser has killed 55,000 mass, almost at 60,000. Gotten great value out of it. Still a crab for defense. Engineers coming in to just scoop up and try to hide in the midst of those units. Crab coming in with even... It's just a bloodbath over here. I feel like... I don't even know what's going on. There's like a face. There's like 2 eyes and a mouth. Like a face in that explosion. Like the face of Mars, except it's the face of Reclaim. You get a nice little shot. Oh, almost looks like Mickey ears almost. Just that deadpan face, like, please kill me. That's actually what it's saying. We have another crab coming online. Heavy assist onto the shields. Building more shielding. I don't know. I feel like Team 1 could easily just send in whatever they have. I would speed it up. Oh, actually, it's on. Oh, I'm dumb. The seam speed was at -2. I must have hit it by accident at one point. That's awkward, thinking that the sim speed was at -2, but it's because of just how slow and the units are. But that's just... There's somebody later, like early on in the video, is going to be like, it's just because the slider is down. You need to put the slider back to 0. What are you talking about? But the crab is gaining ground here. But again, there's 3 FAF boys. 3 FAF boys in that mist. It's just the... That's weird. There was just a unit up there. But that crab is going to just keep going. Unfortunately, it's not going to go anywhere. And is going to die. T3 mobile artillery, also online, has killed almost 2,000 mass. Going to get his 2nd rank in veterancy. First, he's forming nice little lines. There's not... Actually, this might do... Oh, no, the crab dies. So once the crab dies, essentially now all the focus is going to be on the Percies. FAF boys coming in, trying to assist, recharging those ASFs. Trying to target these ones, and now we see that instance. We slow it down a little bit. That's what I did. I slowed it down for that nuke and just completely forgot about doing it. Can't hit us behind the mountain here. Shields are falling. I think that's a Rascon. Yep, that is a Rascon. The Kama Fulgrim is retreating in the face of that. But a brick and a Rascon. Oh, friendly fire, friendly fire, friendly fire. Oh, it's going to hurt. Going after that Quantum Gateway. That Quantum Gateway is done and dusted just by artillery fire from the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy doing more damage than the Percy's. The Percy's targeting that brick. T2 PD trying to be spammed up. There goes massive amounts of reclaim efforts to scoop up all those Percy's. They'll take all that. More Percy's are inbound. Percy's getting into the range of the Fat Boys. That's what the engineering stations, those hives are doing. They're just going to scoop up the engineers at this point. It's just really, why fight it when you can just scoop it up kind of thing. And Team 2 has started to secure the territory. That is a decent amount of mass, but the Duke is down nonetheless, and the shields around that Stone Anger are down. Is that laser overhead? Yes, it is, and the artillery is raining in on this position as well. And it does look like Team 2's Winter just surrenders, control Ks, whatever the case may be. And that attack was just the last ditch effort. Team 1 wins this fight, and honestly, I gotta give it to Fulgrim. He did a very good job holding off this eastern side. Definitely deserves MUP award. Electrician did a very good job. Of course, he built the Dukes that won the game. He built the Nuke that also did something. Not as much, but the two Dukes definitely, you know, they won the game here for Team 1. They held off the front line for a long, and I mean a long time. There's a crab still coming up. I think had Winter held in, maybe. No, there's a crab. There's 3 Fat Boys. There's a new crab that just came online. More satellites are being built. There is a world where Winter would have won that game, but I feel like Team 1 definitely had in terms of how many realities would have won. I think like at least a 75% of those won. But that was the game. It was very good. Don't know why I didn't pay attention to the fact that I slowed it down myself. But that's just me missing it and whatnot. Thank you so much for watching. But yeah, I do think Fulgrim, he did his best to push back Battlefront on the eastern side. He fell back, kept falling back. He fell back essentially to his main base. Battlefront bit off a little bit more than he can chew. He came in with some assistance from the west, which is such a good move. Just ambushed the column of Battlefront and killed off that player. It did give a lot of eco to Winter, and then of course the evacuation of Mattock definitely didn't help Team 2. Most definitely didn't help. There's nothing much that Team 2 could have done in that regard. Everyone did a very good job at the end. It was just, hey, let's meet up in the middle and have a fight over this mass. That was it. Team 2 definitely had the longer, walkway to get to there. Team 1 did not, which means Team 1 could easily resupply and Team 2 could not. And, war of attrition, Team 1 would eventually win that fight anyways. But again, let me know down in the comments what you thought about the game. Please like and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with anyone and everyone you think would enjoy it, especially your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.